What is going on, everyone? This is Futures Brizio. It is an unusual Sunday night video here. Yes, it is Sunday. Sunday. It is June 28th, 2026, 9:25 p.m. New York City time. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I did make a live video, walk and talk video this afternoon that you can see on the channel right here. And I was talking about kind of my change in my time frame focus, especially for Forex. Um, and I kind of went through my explanation about why that is. And I said I would drop another video once I had a chance to look at the markets. And I could easily have just have made this video tomorrow morning, but I figured I would do it now as kind of a precursor for tomorrow. And so we'll jump right in. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Questions, comments, leave them down below. And if you want to go back and watch this video from earlier today, it is on my channel under the live section. And again, this is my walking and talking about the markets. I started that last week. This was my second one. And, I'll probably do a few more of them. I kind of like it, if I have something to talk about, just as I'm out doing my walks to just talk about a subject and hopefully get some live interaction during the recording. All right. So with that said, let's jump over to the Forex market and we'll just start there. Now, what I had said on the video was that basically I've decided, just because I trade so many assets, and you can talk to a million people about, well, should you trade one market, two markets, five markets, 10 markets? And look, I think it all depends on what you want to do. I don't think there's any right answer. I also think it depends on your methodology or your strategy, and I also greatly think it depends on what time frame you like to trade on. Now, obviously, if you're trading on short time frames, like anything under a 1 hour chart, I would consider a short. Certainly under a 30-minute chart, then you really do have to obviously limit your markets to probably just a few, because if you're trading on really fast time frames, you can't possibly look through that many assets, because by the time you look through them all, if you're trading on a 5-minute chart or a 15-minute chart, those trades will be long past before you actually get to it. But if you're trading on high time frames, in this case the daily chart, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with trading a bunch of markets, because if you're looking for a particular setup, no matter what it is, in this case for me, it's using the CSI indicator in conjunction with market structure and price action, that you're only getting one candle a day painting, right? And so that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting to get that candle to show, and I'll make a watch list. And when I went through the list, basically, tonight, or actually I did it Friday or after the market closed, but obviously that hasn't changed as of right now because the market just reopened for the week a few hours ago. I only have to look at the chart once a day, okay, just through each chart. Once the candle closes, whether I do it at 5 o'clock or whether I do it the next morning, whatever, because I'm just sitting here waiting, and I'll make note of which pairs maybe are setting up. I have a watch list, and that's it. So you can do that, right? And so even though I've got 20 something Forex pairs here, I can click through this list pretty quick because I'm looking for a particular formation with the CSI indicator. And like I said, that's it. I'll put it on my watch list, or I'll take a trade straight away if there's something there right now. And that's it. Now for futures, and again, this is all in the live video, but for futures, I stick to shorter time frames. And even though most of those are day trades to maybe short-term swing trades, on there I'll stick to the 1 to 4 hour chart. So what this allows me to do is take a big picture Forex. I can go through all these pairs in a matter of a few minutes, and then I really technically don't have to look at them again until the next day. So once a day, spend a few minutes and go through them all, make a list. I mean, again, I went through the entire list, and I've got basically 3 or 4 out of the entire list of 25 that are either setting up, or basically are viable trades right now. Uh, and so it doesn't take long because you're on a daily chart. There's just not going to be very many. So, all right. So, and also, as you can see, I'm using a 21 period look back. Okay. Which I feel like is long enough to filter out as many bad trades as you can, and false signals, but short enough where you're not getting in too late, especially on really impulsive moves that are probably going to go on for a while. All right, this indicator does lag a little bit, and like any indicator, it's not going to be perfect. And like any indicator, you can adjust the settings so you'll get faster signals, but those faster signals will lead to more false signals. So you have to find that sweet spot that works for you, based on your risk to reward and how long you're willing to hold trades for. Okay, but there's no magic to this. But I do like the indicator, as you guys know. And also, I don't trade it in a vacuum, as we've talked about, right? I use market structure and price breaks and key levels. And being on the daily chart, I get the advantage of seeing the key levels along with the market structure, so I don't have to be constantly changing time frames. Okay, so let's dive quick in here, and we're going to go through every pair, and I'm just going to do it pretty quick. So Aussie CAD, to me, this looks like a potential short here. The market is going down. You can see we had this triple top put in right here. We did get the crossover on, this looks like Thursday. Now, I haven't taken a trade in this. I do have another Aussie pair that I'm in. And so just for the, again, I'm looking at levels. So when I see right here, price is going to come into this level, it's probably going to bounce. It doesn't mean it's going to reverse and go up, but there will be a reaction. You can see everybody else is seeing this level. You can look to the left here. You can see it was support, 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 resistance, support, resistance. This is a very important level. So that's why I didn't take this trade, which is why, again, I don't take these trades in a vacuum. When I'm looking at, okay, to say that the Australian dollar is moving and is doing something, which it is, I think, which are the best pairs to trade it off? And to me, this is not the best one to trade it on because of it's coming into this level right here. And like I said, doesn't mean it's going to stop here, but you can guarantee it's going to react off here. Okay. So, anyways, there is a sell here based on just the setup, but I'm not taking this particular one. And you're going to see this play out with a lot of these pairs. This is the Aussie yen. This one's already started moving. So this is one I could consider on a pullback. But at the moment, this entry actually came like the beginning of last week on this candle right here, which was, last on Tuesday. We had this. This was really the start of this downtrend as far as the indicator goes. Aussie Kiwi, there's nothing. You can see they're both slanting down, so I just passed right through that one. Now, Aussie Swiss, you can see this one's kind of been in a range, and it looks like we're trying to break out. I drew this box last week, and you can see it looks like we're breaking through here. We do have a sell set up here. So the Aussie Swiss is a potential one. I actually don't have that on my list, so I'm going to add that right now. Okay, so there's Aussie Swiss. That is a good potential trade. Aussie dollar broke out to the downside a long time ago, so there's definitely nothing here unless I wait for a pullback. CAD yen, nothing. CAD Swiss, nothing. CAD yen, nothing. Swiss yen. And guys, I'm going through these fast. The first thing my eyes go to is the CSI indicator, okay? If the CSI is showing a potential setup, then I go down and start looking at the price chart, okay? So just so we're clear. So I'm looking at this, there's no setup. Euro Aussie, there's a buy here that happened last Tuesday. Again, it's already underway. Probably has some good upside potential, but I will wait for a pullback before I would think about that. But it is on my watch list anyways. And to wait for a pullback though. Euro CAD, nothing. Euro dollar, nothing. Euro GBP, nothing. Euro yen, nothing. Pound yen, Euro Kiwi. This uptrend's been going on for a while. It is approaching some major resistance up here, so I'll put that one aside for now. GBP yen has been in a range. I just started following this pair again. I really don't actively trade this, but I will look at it a little bit. And either way, there's really nothing here right now. We're kind of in the middle of this range. Don't really have much. We do have a slight buy signal here, but the price action is not in line with this uptrend. So, I'm not doing that. So, GBP Aussie, this is one that I am in long. This entry actually came last week as well. So I am in that one long because I do think it's got some upside potential. Or at least we'll go back to this old high right here. And that probably will be where we'll see at least a pullback. But from current price levels, let's see, that would be about up to this high is 220 pips. So I would take that all day. So that's one I am in right now. Nothing in GBP USD. GBP CAD is in a huge range. Go to the weekly chart. You can see it. Just ugly. And no setup anyways on the daily. So I'm not touching that one. Pound NZD. The NZD and the Aussie are both really weak right now. So anything against them is going to be appreciating. But again, this was a great entry, but this was way back on June 18th, 19th. So more than a week ago. And so without a pullback, I won't be touching that. It's very overextended. So, if we get some sort of pullback, for a couple of days or so, anyways, whatever, and then look for some bullish price action, and maybe we continue this one up. Okay, NZD CAD, of course, like I said, the Kiwi and the Aussie are weak right now. So, of course, these are sells. This one I thought about taking. You can see this is in a pretty nice downturn. We have these lows sitting way down here that I think price will get back to at least down to this level and, a little further target down here. So that probably will take a while, but I would really like to see a pullback because this is really extended. This downtrend with the signal started back here again last Tuesday. So I don't really want to touch this right now, but I'd love to see, a little pullback for maybe a couple of days and then continue on and maybe go down and touch these lows. So we'll see what happens with that. It is on my watch list, but I would like to see a pullback. And it's the same thing on the Kiwi US dollar, a little bit more further extended here. And this one's not my favorite because of the levels it's approaching. So I rather look at Kiwi Canadian or another Kiwi cross. Okay, Kiwi yen, again, sitting at these lows right here. Probably we'll see a reaction. And then maybe we'll continue the downtrend. So from where it is right now, again, looking left, I would love to see a little pullback here of some sort. And then down if it's going to break these lows. But you can see, as it approaches this zone, a few 3 or 4 days here, it could not break through here because again, there's a lot of buyers, a lot of people watching this level, just the same way I am, and so people are taking profit here or trying to go long right here. Bounce off the support zone and take a long. So price is getting held up here. So I do expect we'll see some sort of a short-term bounce and then maybe we'll look to short it after that if we get that. Kiwi Swiss, a very extended range that's been going on since December of last year. If you look on the daily chart, and this is another advantage of the higher time frame, guys. You get these bigger pictures to say, this is sloppy. And if you're a trend trader, these are the type of markets you want to stay out of, right? I know there's a big range inside of here. This is a daily chart, but to me, I mean, look at this price action, even from the top of this range to the bottom. This is just ugly. So this is one I'm just ignoring. Now the Kiwi is weak, so maybe we eventually will break this level and continue to the downside. Eventually, the range will break. It's just a matter of how long. And you say this range has been going on for 6 months. We've been looking at this really more than 6 months, closing on 7 months, right? But there's nothing there right now. Dollar yen, nothing. Dollar Canadian, nothing. Dollar Swiss, nothing. So there you go. How long did that take me? And I talked through a lot of that. So the bottom line is the Aussie and Kiwi pairs are the ones that have most of my interest right now. All the ones I'm watching have one or the other in them, except for Euro Yen. Let's go back to Euro Yen. Yeah, no, I'm not interested in Euro Yen. So yeah, so I'm going to take that actually off. So yeah, all the pairs that I have any interest in right now have either the Aussie or the Kiwi in them. So I'm in the pound Aussie. Outside of that, I'll probably wait for some pullbacks. Although the Aussie Swiss is looking was looking pretty good. That one I might think about taking because we have now broken. Now we probably will. This will probably be a break and retest thing. We'll probably see price try to run back inside the range. Um, so we'll see what happens with that. But that one's probably my next favorite one. Sorry, guys, I had to answer the phone. So I don't know what I was saying. We were talking about the Aussie Swiss. So, anyways, this is one that I like. Probably will be a little break and retest here, but there you go. So it's the Aussie and the Kiwi pairs that really have the most potential right now, and so and that probably won't change for the week. Another thing about using the daily chart is probably not going to be a lot of shift. In terms of what's active right now. So, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it, and we'll see how we go with that. Quick move over to futures. So, as I mentioned on futures, we're going to stick to the shorter time frames here, like the 2 hour chart. I really like. And you can see on here, like I said, I use the moving averages, and I mean, I do go out to the daily to kind of get the larger picture. But I like these continuation trades. We these markets are trending pretty good right now. So I'm not going to sit here and go through all these. Um, so I have the moving averages, which I only use for these grain trades. Is the 21 and the 34 simple moving averages. Um, and yeah, so I'm just taking a look at something while I'm talking to you here, guys. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so one thing that's really interesting, this indicator, the CSI, um, is really coded for Forex and currency futures. And for some reason, it's showing up on my grain trades. I have to go and look at the code. It's just kind of an aside, but for instance, if I go this is Bitcoin. I only follow Bitcoin because I don't trade it per se. And this is a stock. This is a penny stock that somebody had told me. And you can see the indicator doesn't even plot. You see the red exclamation point because it's not coded for this. So I'm trying to figure out why this indicator is even working for grains. Now the purple line is the DXY, so it's not really a good gauge to you know but it looks like this line actually is the grain future. So this is wheat. So this blue line is wheat. This red line on all these is the DXY. And I really don't know why this is showing anything, but it's the interesting thing is when you look at these crossover signals, these actually are pretty good trades. So maybe I will utilize it for this and get rid of the moving averages, but I don't know. So it's just an aside, but either way, we taking a look at the grain markets this week. Um, some of these have been moving into a little bit of a range. Some of them look like they want to try to go higher. So we'll let that flush out. And then lastly, on the futures market for currency, the currency future is the British pound. This is a bearish crossover right here on the pound. No, excuse me. This is euro futures. We also have that same crossover on the 2 hour chart on the British pound, the Australian dollar. Uh, Same thing here. We've got a bearish setup, and this one definitely looks more bearish. Same thing with the Kiwi. So basically, remember, guys, this purple line is the DXY, the US dollar index, and the blue line is whatever currency is. So this is the Swiss franc. Again, we have kind of a bearish bias there. Pretty much all of them are like that, where the DXY, the dollar index, is strengthening, which of course it's going to be strengthening because it's the same on all these, but it's almost the same bias with all of them. So let's see what happens with those. There's no trades I'm going to take immediately on these. I'll wait for the daytime for the U.S. session to see if there's any potential setups and pullbacks here. One thing that's interesting is I showed you that told you I was long on the pound AUD and Forex. Well, according to this, the pound also is bearish because looking at the pound futures, So that's interesting. Like I would love to see the pound be positive, but remember here you're measuring it against the DXY and not against the Australian dollar like you do in spot Forex. So it is a little bit of apples and oranges, but I'd like to see the pound a little stronger on this chart. Um, not that futures and spot forex move exactly the same, but I'd love to see the pound futures be a little bit stronger, and that would give me more confluence with my pound Aussie forex trade. But we'll see how that works out. And again, the pound Aussie was on a daily chart. This is on a 2-hour chart, and this is comparing it against the DXY versus the AUD forex pair. So you are comparing some apples and oranges here too. All right, so I will leave it there, guys. I just wanted to drop the video just mostly for some setups on Forex, and we'll see how it goes if we get any future setups, tomorrow. And I will be back if there is anything to update tomorrow afternoon or mid session tomorrow. I will do so. All right, so I hope you have a great rest of the night. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Any questions or comments, leave them down below, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.